Strong leadership and outspoken advocates are the backbone of our community in the developing world. And as a mother of 2 boys with hemophilia, Megan Adediran has been that outspoken leader in Nigeria ever since her family was first diagnosed.
I have a son. I actually have 2 sons with hemophilia, but I came to know the WFH after my first son was born, and there was no treatment in my country. And in his first 8 years of life, he actually had 7 blood transfusions, which were the only way of keeping him alive. He had his first transfusion as a 15-day-old child. That's after bleeding for 5 days after circumcision. He's had episodes of bleeding that has ranged from that 5 days to as much as 21 days. And so in 2004, I went online and searched hemophilia foundations, and I saw 67 organizations. I went back home and I wrote my story and sent it to all 67. And
67 all around the world?
All around the world. And 3 days after, I got an email from Assad saying, your son's story has been flying from every corner of the world. Send me your phone number so that I can call you. And he called and asked, explained my situation. I got the first donation of treatment products from the WFH July 12, 2004. And that was the beginning of my relationship with the WFH. I've always said the humanitarian aid for me in my country is the difference between life and death. Most developing countries share the same thing I experience in my country. From sub-Saharan Africa to Southeast Asia, we have developing countries who are in the same range. If the World Federation's data says just 25% of persons with hemophilia receive adequate care, 75% receive low or no care at all, and that's where my country falls. When I started the foundation, like I tell people, it started with just my son. Well, today we have 218 identified persons with hemophilia. When I started, there was no patient support group. There was nobody for you to talk to. Today, families have a network of someone you can call who can share your experience. When I started, we didn't have physiotherapists who knew anything about hemophilia. Diagnosis was 0. We were paying as much as $300 to $400 to get diagnosed. Today, because of the work we are doing together with the WFH, diagnosis is free. When I started, healthcare providers were like skeptical that hemophilia was not a black man's disease. Today, we are beginning to make them believe that it's a black man's disease and it has been living with us. One of the biggest challenges we face is the inadequacy of enough treatment products. There are times that we run out of products, and it's not because the WFH does not want to give, but it's because that is all they have. And there could be life-threatening bleeds that will come at that point in time.
Have you had moments where you've wanted to throw your hands in the air? Or
so many times.
How do you
I've
get
had
through?
Sleepless nights. I've been called at 2 a.m. of a child who fell at 10 o'clock and 10 p.m. and the mother called me at 2 a.m. There was nothing I could do. By 6 a.m. when I will call back to ask what I could do, the boy was dead. And that breaks my heart. Presently, I have a 9-year-old girl who is our only female hemophilia with 7%. She's been in hospital for 9 weeks. She has a pseudocyst. Doctors can't go in to operate because we don't have enough products to do that. She's not been able to go to school since 2012. She already has a flex knee. She has a pseudocyst in her ankle. And for the patients that you are serving, it's like you are disappointing them. You have given them a hope that the organization is there to help them whenever they need.
Right.
And they come in at this time and you tell them you can't help. It's like a disappointment. That is one of the greatest challenges we face now. Without those products, I don't think we will have a future for our generation. So the product, the humanitarian aid program, has always been the only source of us getting treatment products. And so it's the difference between life and death.
Hey, thanks so much for watching this video from the WFH Humanitarian Aid Program series. If you'd like to watch more videos from the series, you can click here, or you can click here. Here. Or here.